I can't stop thinking about sausage. Like the wedding. I'll never eat breakfast sausage again. This is horrible. This is the Big Bad Boot.
We're siblings who explore spooky and scary stories, urban legends, tall tales, and true crime, all located in this crazy state that's shaped like a boot. A podcast about the weird state you wish you were from.
Hosted by the weird siblings you wish you had. Oh, at my injection sites.
It's sore.
Same spot every time?
You need to move it around.
So they say go from this side to this side and keep doing it. But like the first time I did it, because I do it to myself and I'm scared of needles. So like I slowly pushed it in.
You do it fast.
Yeah, just...
And then do it. Well, then Brittany, who was firewoman and paramedic, she was like, no, you mess up the injection. You have to like stab yourself and then push it in. So I did that. But it's still like my injection spot's like red and warm every time I do it. And
You
I'm
might be allergic.
I'm doing the little swabs and stuff, but it doesn't itch. It's just
Try it
red
in your
and warm.
arm.
I can't. You can only do semi-glutide in your arm.
Oh, sorry.
What about your butt? Like steroids.
That insulin needle don't stand a chance. I think. Like, man, that it would never get to anything. I wouldn't feel it. I'd be like, who threw that piece of paper at my butt?
Caleb's
Man.
butt needles. Welcome to the Big Bad Boot.
Hey.
Hey. It's good to be here talking
I'm
about.
sorry.
That's okay.
I love our listeners because the things we talk about,
I know.
golly, Lord have mercy. But then some of them think we're geniuses. Shout out Cheryl, my coworker Cheryl.
Okay.
Love
Tell me
her.
more about why somebody thinks I'm a
But
genius.
she was like, that voiceover, like, of you and your sister, like, ask her where she gets her marshmallow makeup. Her makeup's so good.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, like, Katie just sent me that and was like, do a voiceover, make it funny. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. She was like, you just like,
That's how we
off
roll.
the cuff did it. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you really are so funny. And I was like, Cheryl, stop.
Somebody asked me yesterday about your content. You and your brother's content creation is so good, which it's shout out Lettuce Media because everything looks great.
Period.
But they were like, just even the videos y'all make are so funny. Like, what's your strategy? I'm like,
Literally,
there's none. There's nothing. There is none. It's
None at
just,
all.
it's
And the things I think are so stupid, people think are hilarious.
the funniest ones.
Though I took one on my lunch break at my desk where it was like, how old will you be when you get married? And mine's like 145.
Yep.
It has so many views and likes now. And I'm just like, that wasn't that funny.
That's why we're here on this podcast, because we had a funny TikTok. So I called Jonah and said, we have a viral TikTok. What do we do? And here we are.
Period. And almost a year later, it's been a fast year. Y'all, we make
a year in August.
August 13th.
That's right. We got to do a little something.
Okay.
Well, technically, July is when we started recording.
Mhm.
We launched
And
on your birthday.
On my birthday, of all days.
Y'all, that's crazy. We
That's
need
crazy.
I was thinking too, we should do something for that, but we should do a little like Big Bad Boot, like Christmas din or something.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, we
dinner.
should.
Yes. Like just us producers, babies,
And Cosmo.
and Cosmo.
Real quick. Well, we
Yes.
can cut this if we need to. Do you like when you go out to eat? I like if I go out like with friends or something,
Mhm.
I'm like, I want to be here for 4 hours.
Yes,
Yes.
same. Welcome to the Big Bad Boot.
We're planning
Our 1 year
holiday
anniversary.
dinner.
Our anniversary dinner. We'll get
I'm
a
in there,
cake.
like somewhere.
We'll get Abby to make us a little cake.
Yes.
Well,
Abby
actually,
Caswell, if you're
actually we
listening, you
should.
better
That would
be Abby.
that would be great content for her to film, to make us a 1 year anniversary cake.
Oh yeah. See,
See, that's how we come up with content.
Abby, if you're listening, and you're our friend, so you better be listening.
Yeah. Speaking of friends, we have emails.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You got a burp?
I pushed it back.
Okay. I have an email from Robin Jones, and the subject is Dead Man Walking.
Hooked.
Hooked.
Okay. If you want your email read,
Mm-hmm.
do a little hook like Robin. Robin. Okay.
Hey, Caleb and Katie.
Hey, girl.
Love the pod. I'm also from Ponchatoula.
Love your print.
Love your pod. You guys should cover the story of Robert Willie. There is a movie about him called Dead Man Walking, which I think is with, oh God, Jonah, who was the man that was in Fight Club? Ed Norton. Sorry, I just had to ask Jonah.
You don't know who Ed Norton is?
I sure don't.
Caleb's the worst.
Look,
You
I'm
suck.
young. My
You've
joints are supple.
You've never seen
They're
Fight
actually
Club,
not.
I bet.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
In the movie, he is sentenced to death by lethal injection for rape and murder, but in real life, he was executed in the electric chair.
Was it Gert?
Probably. He is actually my dad's cousin with like a shocked emoji face.
Wow. Oh.
Like my dad actually met him when my dad was a kid.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure Robert is buried in Willie Cemetery in Folsom. He let the girl that he attacked go, and she later wrote a book called Forgiving the Dead Man Walking about her experience. The story is wild. Definitely look it up. Your fellow greenie, Robin Willie Jones.
Hell yeah, Robin. Roll wave.
Roll wave, baby.
Period.
Okay, I've been seeing the story of Dead Man Walking like a lot lately.
Okay.
And I think this is what is going to get me to actually do it. Because I know it's going to be a deep dive, like because there's a book, a movie, and I want to do it. It's due diligence and watch all of it and read it. But I will be doing that.
Okay.
So thanks, Robin.
Okay, I've got one.
We'll send you a discount code for merch.
Oh, yeah. I've got one from Jennifer Henning, I think.
Henny.
It says, "Hi, I love listening to your podcast. I'm new to them, so I just finished listening to episode 5 about Huey P. Long."
Oh, girl, it gets so much better. We promise.
It does. That was one of my top
episode.
ones. I love your interaction with each other. Oh, thanks. I have a suggestion for some research, although I'm not sure if it's possible. Okay. I live in Lake Charles and am a direct descendant of Charles Sallier. If you don't know, this wonderful city was named after him. Oh, okay, work.
Did not know that.
T. There's a story that everyone knows about Charles Sallier. His wife, Catherine Nee Lebleu, and Jean Lafitte, a pirate famous in Louisiana. Yeah. Charles thought Catherine and Jean Lafitte were having an affair.
Work.
That's tea.
Love that.
Okay. He shot Catherine, then rode away on his horse. He didn't know that.
Caleb, can you read?
Oh my God. The gag is he didn't know that the bullet hit her brooch that she wore and it didn't kill her. I've always wanted to know what happened to Charles. Where did he go? What happened to him? Is it possible to find out? I understand if you don't want to or can't delve into this.
Well, we can.
We sure can. Thank you so much, Jennifer Henning.
I love that. That's your next story.
That's why I stopped, because I was like, the gag is it didn't kill her.
We both just found our next stories. Thanks, ladies. We'll send you both discount codes for merch.
Yeah. Should we add brooches?
Ooh. Okay, wait. I had an idea, though.
Okay.
I think I want to do special edition bumper stickers.
Okay.
And we'll do just a giveaway. Like you and I, we'll buy like 100 of them and we will just give them away.
Okay.
And I want it to say, probably listening to the Big Bad Boot.
Yes, I agree. I
think that would be good use of our ad dollars.
Lappy Top stickers would also be good for that.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of people be working in coffee houses with headphones on.
Yeah.
So like if their laptop could say, probably listening to the Big Bad Boot. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have homework.
Nice.
I'm excited about my story.
Okay.
This one's fun.
Work. Okay.
I mean, it's not fun.
Is there blood?
People die. Oh, yeah.
Is it gonna make me and Jonah sick?
No,
like last time?
It's not like the heel string gang.
Okay.
I mean, it's bad, but it's not like that. But this has everything. It's.
I love that. What is that? Wait, what is that from?
It's from Saturday Night Live.
This has
everything.
This club has everything. The guy that goes.
Oh, what's his name? Stefan.
Stefan.
Yeah. Stefan.
Yeah. Our inner city correspondent.
Yes.
Oh, love it.
So it's in the 1920s.
Okay.
In the French Quarter.
Oh.
There's possible infidelity.
I thought you were going to say there's possums. I was like,
there is probably possums.
Yeah.
It's got everything.
Okay, I'm excited.
So you ready?
Wait.
Okay, before I get started and while Caleb's sipping his drink, I will say this episode contains depictions of violence and gore, so listener discretion is advised. You've been warned.
Okay.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at the Columbia Theater for the Performing Arts. The Columbia Theater is probably one of my favorite places on the planet, and that is no exaggeration. The Columbia produces plays, musicals, and interactive events and screens major motion pictures, hosts concerts, and a variety of other live performances.
Many know it as a gorgeous building in downtown Hammond, but it has an extensive historic past and tons of charm. And once you've attended one of their immersive, edge of your seat performances, you'll understand why it's also known as the Dream Factory.
Here are just a few shows coming up this season that we personally cannot wait to see. On August 22nd, there will be a special screening of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets with free popcorn, swag bags, and a costume contest. On September 25th, the Broadway hit Waitress comes to Hammond. And October 17th through 25th, the Columbia premieres their new studio show, The Graveyard Girls, just in time for spooky season. And of course, the season at Columbia would not be complete without their annual showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is on October 18th. This will also be the 50th anniversary of the cult classic, and they will celebrate it as God intended with a shadow cast and a costume contest.
All these shows and so many more are on the calendar. Tickets are available online at columbiatheater.org, by phone at 985-549-2787, or in person at the box office in downtown Hammond.
Looking for a place where charm, community, and creativity come together? Then welcome to downtown Hammond, right in the heart of Louisiana. And at the heart of it all is the Hammond Downtown Development District. This isn't just a place to shop or grab a bite. It's where local businesses thrive, and where neighbors know your name, and where every storefront, festival, and sidewalk brings people together. That's nice. From cozy coffee shops and one-of-a-kind boutiques to art walks, the farmer and artisans market, and live music, downtown Hammond has something for everyone. And when you support these small businesses, you're not just buying local, you're investing in the soul of our city. So whether you're a longtime local or just passing through, come explore what makes downtown Hammond special. Visit downtownhammondla.com to learn more. I love you, downtown Hammond.
And their farmers market
Is
everyone else's farmers market is poo.
Is poo.
Respectfully, because Hammond's got it going on.
I recently bought the goat soap.
Yeah.
From the goat soap lady.
Bah.
I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. I'll remember it for next time. My skin is supple, hydrated,
Nice.
soft. Yeah, the goat soap lady. Hammond Farmers Market. That's not her name. I'll get it next time. Thanks, Hammond DDD. Are you ready to take your property to the next level? Whether you're dreaming of a custom pole barn, a durable metal building, or a roof that can weather any storm, B&B Outdoor Works LLC has you covered. Based in Tangipahoa Parish, Louisiana, B&B Outdoor Works specializes in top quality pole barns, metal buildings, and metal roofing, and they do it with craftsmanship that's second to none. Their team is known for doing the job right the first time, and their results speak for themselves. Here's the best part. Their work lives up to the name, Built Better. So if you're looking to add function, style, and serious durability to your property, trust the experts at B&B Outdoor Works LLC. Find them on Facebook and get your free quote today. That's B&B Outdoor Works, Built Better. Back in the 1920s, New Orleans French Quarter was buzzing with life. Bohemian artists, writers, and dreamers were all drawn to its charm. It was also very cheap to live there at the time.
Can't relate.
It was kind of like an old world. You didn't feel like you were in the United States.
Right. Very
then.
French and Spanish.
But beneath that glow, the French Quarter was still very much a working class neighborhood, just like it had been for decades. And after the Civil War, many of the city's wealthier families packed up and moved out and headed to the quieter, cooler parts of town like St. Charles Avenue, all that good stuff.
Big trees.
Lots of shade.
Period.
Old money.
Nice.
Hoping to escape the grime and the grind of the warehouses and the sugar refineries.
Nice.
And amid this backdrop, however, something dark and unforgettable happened. The French Quarter became the setting for one of the most violent crimes of the decade. 2 brutal murders that would go down in history as the New Orleans trunk murders.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This one's
a banger.
It's a banger. It's very gory and sad, but it's kind of fun.
All right, turn up. But it's kind of fun.
Here are my sources.
Okay.
An article written for the Historic New Orleans Collection, which we need to partner with them somehow.
Okay.
Because I was perusing their website and
Good word. Perusing.
Thank you. I read.
I don't.
we need to partner with them somehow because that is
Okay.
right up our alley. But it was an article written for them by Dylan Jordan titled Amid Roaring 20s New Orleans, a Brutal Double Murder.
Okay.
And then a blog written by Douglas Wood titled Things You Should Know But Don't, New Orleans Trunk Murders.
Cool.
So
I like that title. That was a good one.
Picture it.
Okay.
It's 1927,
Okay.
New Orleans. You have the smells, the sounds, the streetcars whizzing by on the tracks.
Mm.
You can smell some horse manure somewhere probably.
I was going to say beignets.
You can hear some jazz music playing.
Okay.
It's hustling and bustling. Housekeeper Nettie Compass began her afternoon shift at an apartment on Ursuline Street.
Okay.
To be exact, 715 Ursulines Street, which is now Ursulines Avenue,
Right.
in the French Quarter. It's also a few days before Halloween. It's October 27th, 1927.
Nice.
Nettie was scheduled to clean the home shared by two brothers, Henry and Joseph Moidy. Again, I'm not 100% sure how you say their last name, so forgive me if this is wrong.
Okay.
I tried to find a pronunciation, but it's spelled Moity. I'm assuming it's Moidy.
Say it again.
Moity.
Moiety. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how. Yeah.
So she was scheduled to clean the home of two brothers, Henry and Joseph Moidy, and their wives, Teresa and, again, this one's hard, Leonide. Leonide.
So the brother and the sister-in-laws are just
It's two
sharing?
couples and
Is
live
this
in the
a
same.
duplex?
They're living in the same house. I think they were working class people. A lot of people did this back then
I mean,
to
hey, I would
help
do it
pay
right
the bills, right?
now. I'm broke.
But upon entering the apartment to begin her cleaning, she stumbled upon a pool of blood near the door. And she
Nice.
ran from the apartment screaming. He was up all night raving. She ran from the apartment screaming and caught the attention of a few neighbors who then called the police.
Cool.
What officers found once they responded was a full-blown horror scene. A bathroom covered in blood, severed fingers strewn on the floor, blood-soaked mattresses.
What did I just ask you? Like,
I don't know what to tell you.
okay,
Just get tougher.
I can't.
You're a co-host of this podcast.
Oh my gosh, severed things.
And most horrifyingly, two small traveling trunks that
so a
were
suitcase.
yes,
Okay.
that were packed to the brim with the expertly butchered remains of two young women's corpses.
Brother, what?
Yes.
Was
So,
this
like-
carry-on size?
No,
or-
like back in the day, you know how everybody had the steamer trunks?
Oh yeah,
Those.
like the big, like Nanny used to have in her living room.
Yes.
Man,
A steamer
but
trunk.
she didn't murder people.
No, she didn't remember.
She had VHSs and that, but that's
Yes.
crazy.
So the coroner of Orleans Parish at the time, Dr. George, yes.
Sorry, question. Why did it say expertly chopped? Was he a butcher?
You're
Really?
getting there. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Man, all right.
Good job, buddy.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
The coroner of Orleans Parish at the time, Dr. George Rolling, made quick work of the scene and determined the following.
Okay.
The killer or killers were first bludgeoned both women with a lead billy club. Who has those? That's so 1920s.
Show me images of a lead billy club. What a billy club?
It's like, I think what police used to carry with them.
Yes.
Like a stick. Yeah. Who had that? Then
Police.
police.
Not butchers.
Well, it wasn't a policeman. I'll go ahead and squash that for you. Okay. The killer or killers first bludgeoned both women with a lead billy club, then used a machete to remove their arms, legs, and then their heads. Authorities
This is giving
believed
Zach and Addie vibes.
it's pretty close. Authorities believed that the perpetrator or perpetrators removed clothing and other items from the trunks to make room for the bodies, which explained why the apartment was in such a state of like disarray. Like there was crap everywhere.
Okay.
And almost every room was spattered with blood and gore. Now, it wasn't that big of a place, but
But still, like if you're going to kill someone, designate an area. Let's
Yeah.
kill them just in the dining room.
yeah, let's designate it to one area, maybe
Yeah.
the bathtub, perhaps.
Yeah. Not trying to give advice here. This is derailing.
So the victims, who were both in their mid-20s and originally from New Iberia, Louisiana.
Oh, work. Okay.
They were Teresa and Leonide Moiety. So they were sisters-in-law.
Law. Okay.
So they were married to brothers Henry and Joseph. So they were not sisters. They were sisters-in-law.
Okay.
So here's what we know about them.
Okay.
It's not a lot.
Okay.
What we do know about the two women comes mostly from the testimonies of those involved in the investigation and the press coverage of the time, which, of course, being that the victims were women, we know that the press of the time focused on their supposedly questionable pasts rather than the fact that they were brutally murdered.
Right.
Because
that he supposedly planted.
Bernie.
Okay.
So this was their questionable past.
Okay.
Is that they talked about how the women had been supposedly unfaithful to their husbands and that they weren't exactly great mothers.
Oh, so they had children.
Yes.
Okay.
And the newspapers jumped on that, and that's like all they talked about. And it's
Of
like,
course.
these women were put in trunks. Like, can we
Literally, like dismembered.
Right. Can we be a little respectful? Like, they didn't deserve
talk
it.
about something else.
Correct.
Like,
but the only real glimpse we get into the two women's inner lives comes from a story that Leonide, I'm going to just say Leonide, that sounds right.
okay.
That Leonide wrote. It was found tucked away in a cabinet in her bedroom and is thought to be lightly disguised in a lightly disguised account of her own experiences, something she hoped to get published in a women's magazine.
That girl was reading Cosmo, baby.
She was like, I'm getting up out of here.
Good for her. Okay.
Chillingly, a blood-stained rejection slip from a magazine publisher was also found at the scene, which I think is very eerie. Like, so she wrote this story and tried to get it published, and the magazine wasn't interested.
Okay.
It's like, I bet they are now.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm connecting dots in my head, but I don't want to say anything.
So the Times-Picayune ended up printing parts of the story and a brief piece about the personal items that the women left behind.
Okay.
She's believed to have written it before she moved away from New Iberia. Framed as a personal letter, her story offers a glimpse of hope after a failed marriage. She describes finding happiness again despite poverty and living with her husband and children in her small hometown. But the ending takes a dark turn.
Okay. So this is
her letter.
About her like past life, like her past marriage or her current marriage.
I'm thinking that it sounds like it was a past marriage.
Okay.
I could be completely incorrect.
She's talking about finding happiness. Well, you're still married. So did you get remarried?
I'm thinking that I don't know if this is accurate. The way I inferred is that she was married to somebody else in New Iberia, then married this guy and moved.
That's what I was
But that
picking
could be
up.
completely
Wrong,
inaccurate.
But, I mean, that's what I'm picking up as well.
So she closes with this warning, and this is quote. This is exactly what she said.
Okay.
Now, to you young readers, young girls especially, please think ahead of you and do not make the mistake I have made, because it does not always turn out the right way. You can still be disappointed. Guess it was only my luck to be happy like this, so I warn others not to take the same risk. Be careful. Marriage is a life sentence.
Damn. See? That's why I don't do it.
See? Marriage isn't hard. Just find the right one, and preferably not one that chops you up and puts you in a trunk.
Michael would never.
That'd be the last thing he ever did. I'd haunt him so hard. So, amidst all of the blood and gore, authorities did find a pretty cool needle in a haystack.
Okay.
A gold wedding ring was buried deep in a gash of one of the victims' backs. So it's
Katie, girl, man. Are you serious?
But imagine if you're the investigator. Yeah. Like,
oh my gosh, that's disgusting.
But if you think the person's like hacking away and they're slippery and slimy from all the blood, it comes off and it somehow gets put into their.
Oh my gosh.
But it was good because they were like, oh, whoever this ring belongs to was probably the killer. Like, it was a great find for pre-DNA times. Like, I imagine the investigator was like, golly gee, it's my lucky day.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. So,
Y'all got any of that ammonia? Like, golly.
after the two women were found, New Orleans Police Superintendent Thomas Healy immediately started looking for their husbands. As one does, it's always the husbands.
Period.
That same evening, Lanaide's husband, Joseph, showed up and turned himself in. He was like,
Didn't waste no time.
he's like, I'm here. Here's me. You know,
See, back then, just take off.
Oh.
What is it, the 20s?
yeah, 27.
Girl.
We're getting there. But Henry was nowhere to be found.
He is in Mexico City drinking a pina colada.
So the search for him began in earnest. And I want to say this as respectfully as I can. I saw a picture of Henry. He was good looking.
Katie, what is up with you and like
I'm
murderers?
No, not the fact. Completely removed. Objectively looking. We will post this man's picture. Objectively looking at this man's picture, he was very good looking. He looked like Luke Evans.
Who is that?
The guy that played Gaston in the new Beauty and the Beast movie.
Gotcha. Okay.
He looks exactly like Luke Evans.
But he also dismembered someone.
Correct, but I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
And authorities used this photo from the Navy to look for him.
Okay.
And women were like, who? This man? Possibly a murderer? What? Pearl clutching. So it
Okay.
was like he was a good looking man, and that factored into the notoriety of the story.
Okay. Kind of like the Preston with Bonnie and Clyde.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Not much is known about Henry's life prior to this, but he had worked for a time as, you guessed it.
Sex worker.
No. What did you say? Oh, they were expertly.
Butcher.
He was a butcher's assistant.
Oh, man.
He had worked for a time as a butcher's assistant in New Iberia before moving to New Orleans. Okay.
Man.
Once police figured out that Henry was hiding out at a Camp Street boarding house and planning to escape by ship.
The furthest you made it was Camp Street?
Right.
You made it from Ursuline to Camp Street. That's all you did?
If you just like ran real fast, you could have got
Literally.
further.
Seriously.
Superintendent Healy sprang into action and radioed all 7 ships scheduled to leave New Orleans that day, warning them to be on the lookout. And in his alerts to nearby law enforcement, Healy described Henry as having dark, bushy hair, very dark brown eyes, and a distinct tattoo on his arm, a flower with a woman's face, plus a nude woman.
Oh, okay.
Which a lot of sailors back in the day had tattoos of like nude women and like mermaids. Like it was a thing.
Sirens.
So,
I think, but I believe they're called.
correct.
Nice.
Then on Saturday, October 29th, 2 days after the bodies were found, the crew of the freight ship, the Gem, Gem,
Nice.
tipped off the Lafourche Parish, I can't ever say that, Lafourche Parish sheriff.
Okay.
Henry had talked his way onto the ship using a fake name, but his tattoo gave him away.
Okay. And okay. So the ship, the Gem,
Mhm.
they had already left port then.
It sounds like it.
Okay. Because if they're calling Lafourche Parish, that's a little bit ways down the
Yeah.
river.
And the crew recognized it from the news reports about the murders.
Does
So-
he have a tan line where a wedding ring used to be? Because it's in the back folds of somebody, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that makes me so sick.
in his confession, Henry explained exactly what drove him to commit the murders, though he also claimed that alcohol had clouded his judgment,
You
which
don't say.
I'm sure. He said he was furious over an affair that he believed his wife, Teresa, was having with their landlord, Joseph Caruso. According to Henry, what pushed him over the edge was Teresa's plan to leave him, along with what he described as her cheating and her lack of care for their kids. He also blamed his sister-in-law, Lanaide, saying she was a bad influence on his wife.
Okay.
Because remember, Lanaide was the one writing all the
correct
letters and saying, like, be careful who you marry.
Correct.
I wish I had a different life.
Correct.
Blah, blah, blah. So I could see how he inferred that. But like, heaven forbid a woman want to do something else besides being a mom and a wife and
Right.
like work until she dies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Not that those things are bad, but like
Right.
women
but, like,
weren't given a lot of
You can
options.
do whatever you want.
Right. So
Be who you want to be. Paint your own picture.
did you just make that up? Is that a real song?
I don't know.
I think you made that up.
Maybe.
Okay.
But I'm waiting on a connection here because Flippity Joe or whatever, the other husband, the brother.
The one who turned himself in immediately,
Yes.
Joseph.
Right. So he's got to be involved if he turned himself in.
So
right? Or were you getting there?
So I think he knew what happened, but he didn't actually do the killing.
Just didn't want to turn in broski.
Correct. Like he was like, crap, brother, now I'm implicated.
Now I got to kill my wife too.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So both couples along.
If you killed Michael, I'd have to turn you in.
Oh, I know you would.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's more believable that I would kill him than he would,
100%.
than that he would kill me.
100%. He's probably watching baseball on his iPad.
He's
right
watching
now.
baseball on his iPad.
Literally. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
He's not watching baseball tonight because the game doesn't come on till Saturday.
What game?
What game, Caleb? What game?
Baseball.
Okay,
Baseball?
baseball. What is the most important game in college baseball?
The last one. The championship.
Which is called what?
The championship.
No. Caleb.
If it's the last game, it's got to be the championship.
The World Series.
Okay.
LSU is in the College World Series for baseball.
Okay.
On
yeah.
Saturday.
Oh, yeah. In Nebraska.
No.
Right?
No. They just beat Nebraska.
But they're in Nebraska playing.
They're in Omaha.
They're in Omaha.
Is that Nebraska?
Yes.
Is it not?
It is.
I didn't know
you.
that's what you meant, but yes, they are in Omaha.
Oh, they were also playing Nebraska?
Correct.
Okay, that was just fake.
Well, they played in Arkansas yesterday.
Or sorry, Arkansas.
Who are the
Razorbacks.
thank you. I almost said the Pumbas.
Last night's game was
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was a fun watch. We were at the
I was in pajamas with Haley.
we went to see the band Heart in concert last night. They were great. Annie Wilson still's got it.
What do they sing?
What about love?
Yes. Okay.
And a myriad of other things. But Michael was fully like jamming out to Heart and like watching it on his phone. And it was a very dramatic ending. I
the
felt
concert?
the game.
The
I
game.
felt
Oh,
really
okay.
bad for the left fielder for Arkansas. Because he
pooped
tried.
himself? What happened?
No, he dove for a ball and gave it his all, and it got behind him, and LSU scored and
So are
walked
the
it on.
Pumbas out now?
The Pumas are out.
like
Yeah.
it was one of those plays where like he was solely responsible for losing.
Oh no.
Yeah, but he literally like dove to try to catch it, and it like bounced. So it looked like it hit him in his head, and it like went all the way to the fence behind him, and LSU scored. I felt sorry for him.
He was crying.
Yeah, because it's like he tried. It's not like the ball like went through his legs, you know, like he was trying. It sucks.
Man.
Caleb's like, that's why you don't play sport.
If it's not drag racing or tennis, I've never been interested.
Or softball. You like softball.
Oh, I could give a pitching lesson right now in softball.
You actually
which
could.
is why I think I can, if I wanted to, follow baseball because I feel like they're very similar.
Well, yeah.
So
They're,
like
yeah.
softball, hot take, would much rather watch softball. A baseball game.
I don't think
takes
that's a hot
so
take at all.
long.
I think
Like-
that's accurate.
Oh my gosh. Like the way they like have to walk up to the plate and like and
It's
dance
very
for a sec.
drag.
It's so much.
Okay, wait, speaking
Softball
of
is
that-
just like boom, pop, boom.
This is not an original thought, but I heard somebody on TikTok say his hot take that the Savannah Bananas is drag for
For baseball.
straight people.
Yes. The Savannah Bananas and the Party Animals or something like that. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's choreographed. There's outfits. It's
Yeah.
highly rehearsed. It's
Yep.
theater. I agree. Savannah Bananas baseball is drag for straight people.
boom.
That's the tweet.
Boom. Well, that's it, guys. We'll see you next month.
So
Anyway, murders.
back to the trunk murders.
Yes.
So both couples, along with their young kids, had been living together in a cramped apartment on Ursuline Street.
Mhm.
According to Joseph, so the one that turned himself in immediately.
Right.
He'd recently moved out and was staying with his sister after catching Lanide with another man. So the one that was writing the
Dang.
letters, she was cheating with another man.
Okay, so then I take it all back. I don't think she was married before. I think she was writing the letter
saying like
she wasn't happy in her marriage.
like be careful, like if you gonna get married, it's for life, and it kind of sucks or whatever.
Because
like
divorce
if you want
was like almost not a thing back then.
And a lot of people couldn't afford it. Like if you were a woman, you're like, I literally can't afford to live on my own. I will not survive. So I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it sucked.
People were stupid back then.
Yes. So neighbors backed up the idea that things were tense at home.
Okay.
They described constant fights over money, accusations of cheating, and nights filled with heavy drinking and shouting. It sounds like a typical night in Livingston Parish. Sorry, Livingston Parish.
We love you.
We love you. We got kinfolk there. Henry didn't exactly make things tough for the prosecution when it came to proving premeditation. So they were like, you planned this. This was not an act of like instant rage where you just decided all of a sudden it came to you.
I'm going to drink a 40 and call my wife. Yeah.
Just the day before the murders, he told the housekeeper, Nettie, so the one that found the bodies.
Coming late.
That he should take a pistol and shoot both of them. Like meaning his wife and the landlord he thinks that she's cheating on him with.
Work. Okay.
That evening, Nettie saw Henry, Teresa, and Lenide, because remember, by that point, Joseph had moved out because him and Lenide were fighting.
Work.
And the kids, she saw all of them leave the apartment in seemingly good spirits, but before they left, Henry pulled Nettie aside and quietly told her not to be alarmed if she heard the children crying the next morning.
What the hell? What?
What a nerd. Like, why would you do that? I don't think he was the brightest crayon in the box.
No. Was he kind of Derek Todd Lee with his low IQ? Like, come on. And I feel like he wanted attention.
He did.
Don't be surprised. Shut up.
Wait, say it in his voice again.
Don't be surprised. Wait. Don't be surprised.
Wait, I won't look at you. Go. Okay.
Don't be surprised. I'm good at that. Chris.
See, we're both good at voices.
Yeah.
King
Julian. Moore's my favorite.
King Julian.
I love Moore. Oh my God.
Yes.
I love Moore. Anyway, back to the freaking drunk murders, man. All these tangents about sports.
Yes.
And Morton.
So Dr. Rowling, who was the coroner, said the following in a Times-Picayune article, quote,
okay.
The killer who decapitated Mrs. Moiety knew enough not to try to cut through the bone, but to cut through the joint. The appearance of the head of the wife of the defendant indicated that it had been skillfully removed. So that was also evidence for the prosecution saying, like, you didn't just do this on a whim. Like, you thought about this. It's going to be okay.
This is much, you full out lied.
Well, I didn't think that the heel string gang would have grossed you out as much as it did. I had blood taken today. The two murders were tried separately by different judges. So one woman's murder was tried separately from the other. Mm-hmm. But Henry was found guilty in both cases and sentenced to 2 concurrent terms of life in prison. He began serving his sentence at the Louisiana State Penitentiary, which
Angola.
Is correct,
ding, ding, ding.
On July 6, 1928, and became convict number 18038.
Cool.
More shenanigans.
Okay.
Surprisingly, for someone convicted of 2 brutal murders, he seemed to enjoy a fair amount of freedom in prison. By 1934, he had been made a trustee.
That's quick.
Which is a prisoner trusted with special privileges and duties, and they were given a lot more freedom. So even back then, like sometimes they were allowed to like go to town, and they were allowed. It's like as long as you're back by 8 o'clock, which that baffles me that's a concept, but. I mean,
that's crazy.
So then in the summer of 1944, so he had been in prison
20 years.
Over 10 years.
Oh.
About 15 years.
Okay.
Ish.
I work in finance.
He pulled off a casual escape that sounds almost unbelievable. During a routine trip to the post office, because an inmate needs to go to the post office.
For what?
He simply called for a taxi and asked to be taken to, can you guess where he asked to be taken to?
The casino. New Orleans. The airport.
Where do we live?
Ponchatoula? Hammond. For what?
He was asked to be taken to Hammond, Louisiana, so he could get on a train from there.
Oh, Kate Street Station, man.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding.
From there, he hopped on an Illinois Central Panama Limited train, which was headed for Chicago.
Oh, so it's a mobile. Okay. He didn't catch that Mardi Gras line.
No.
Man.
Yeah.
I said airport when I was guessing, and I realized how stupid that was.
He said,
'Cause
take
they
me to Hammond.
Yeah, because they didn't have planes.
Even more surprising, the prison official in charge, George Prevost, didn't seem too bothered. He figured Henry would come back on his own.
Are you kidding me?
Noting that he had already served 16 years and might even be granted a pardon on the grounds of temporary insanity, thanks to supposedly his drunken state of mind at the time of the murders. Henry remained on the run for nearly 2 years without authorities knowing where he was.
So he got on the train.
Yeah. Oh,
So like when we're cooling at like the Kate Street Station, he
Mhm.
was there at one point.
I want to talk to that taxi driver because you know he was wearing prison clothes.
Was he?
Well, that's a good point. Maybe he had somebody on the outside that gave him new
Right.
clothes or something. That's a good point. Because he was very charismatic, they said.
Or if he was, he could just be like, yeah, I just got released. I have no other clothes. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be asking for a taxi if I just jailbroke.
That's a good point. If you say it
See.
confidently, people believe it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how we live our life.
Yeah. Usually if you're the loudest opinion, you're the one listened to. I could escape prison.
How would you escape prison? In 1927, how would you escape prison?
Okay. I would
I know what I would do.
poop myself.
Okay.
And then as I'm getting taken aback to be cleaned up, I would strip naked because no one wants to fight a
And
naked
you're like,
person.
"Ah, la, la, la,"
It literally just like and run at them,
With
run
poop-
straight out the front door.
with poop on. Then they'd shoot you in the back.
Not trying.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would do the classic Little Orphan Annie where she hides in a basket of laundry and gets
That's
carted out.
good.
That's what I would do.
They would know if I was in the laundry.
They're like, God, this is heavy.
Yeah, like I have to lose so much weight first.
Well, you would. You'd lose weight in prison.
I'd rather just do Ozempic and not go to prison. I'd never make it in prison. I
No.
would never make it.
See, I think I would
I
in
would
the right
not.
environment. Like
No.
sometimes a room to myself with a bed and books seems kind of nice.
You don't get a room to yourself.
So yes, sometimes you do.
No.
And it depends on what jail you go to.
But still, Katie, you can't poop anywhere beside your house usually. You gonna poop
That's
in
private.
I don't care. You gonna poop in public?
In my cell.
With bars. There's probably gonna be a person across the hall going like "Boo, boo, boo," at you or something. Big Betty Boop. Big back Betty. He's gonna be barking at you while you're trying to pinch one off.
Don't say I hate it when you use the term pinch one off. I hate that. I hate
when you
it.
talk about cutting through joints, but I digress.
Anyway,
Back to the trunk murders.
2 years later, in 1946, Henry was picked up by police in St. Louis, Missouri. So he made it all the way to Missouri.
Better than what's his face going from Ursuline to camp.
Right. And when he finally admitted who he was sent straight back to prison in Louisiana. But even after being on the run for 2 years, the Louisiana Pardon Board still recommended him for release the following year, which is, again,
Wild.
so Louisiana coded. They're like, he's fine.
He didn't go to
He
do
didn't
it.
go to do it. He's found the Lord.
I don't care if you found the Lord and baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Like you dismembered somebody.
He
That's
didn't
wild.
He didn't go to do it.
Lick the darkest part of my butt. Are you kidding me?
And on March 26, 1948, 21 years after he killed his wife and his sister-in-law, Governor Jimmy Davis signed his pardon.
Are we related to him? We're related to a lot of Davises.
I don't know.
Jennifer,
Figure that out.
Stacy, Dawn.
Just like that, Henry Moiety was a free man. Unfortunately, that decision nearly cost another woman her life. It's like, could have told you that.
Don't say Jimmy Davis.
After his release, Henry moved to California to try and start fresh. But in 1956, at a Los Angeles hotel, he shot his girlfriend. Get into this name, Alberta Orange. That's her name.
comment.
It's a drag name.
Alberta Orange.
Yeah. And your
Alberta
tagline would
Orange.
be like, nothing rhymes with orange.
That
See?
was good.
I've thought about it.
Alberta Orange. I need an orange. That's a good one.
Nothing rhymes with orange. So he shot his girlfriend in the chest and puncturing her lung, but she lived.
Ouch.
Yes. He was convicted of attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon and sentenced to 5 years at Folsom Prison. Do you know who went to Folsom Prison?
Johnny Cash.
Thank God.
Duh. I might not know sports, but I know old music. Wait, okay. Let's backpedal for a second. So you killed two women.
Confirmed that you killed two women. Not only killed them,
Chopped them up.
you chopped them up and put them in a trunk.
Served a mere 21 years, then escaped for 2 years, and you come back and old Jimmy Davis, who
Governor.
sorry, sounds like a freaking idiot to me.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon this man. Sorry if that's your cousin's Davis's. But
Still an idiot.
Gets out, gets pardoned, and then goes to California, shoots a woman in the bosom.
So he was shooting to kill.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then only got 5 years. I know some people I would shoot for 5 years. I could make it 5 years.
Where you're like, it's only 5 years. Bang,
Oh my God.
Bang, bang.
That's
So
that's crazy to me.
people were wild back then, but and there's a reason why
There's
I pointed
people
out
serving
life in prison for selling weed. I know.
Like,
But I think back then, especially, there's a reason why I pointed out that he was very good looking. I think that had something to do with it because there is scientific evidence that proves that you trust people that are better looking.
that's why I'm so good at my job.
We both did the same thing.
But like, he's not that good looking
No,
anymore. How
not
old
anymore.
is he at this point?
Oh, I don't know how old he was, but
His joints aren't supple.
he might have been working out in prison.
And but I know he ain't got no Botox or doing.
No.
He doesn't have CeraVe. He's not doing skincare.
No, and people had horrible skin and teeth back then.
Yeah.
But there was a point to me saying that I think that had a lot to do with it. Because if you think a man comes in on the parole board and he's good looking and he speaks well, and you're like, well, I believe he's been rehabilitated and he feels bad. And like people, I could see how.
Yeah, but I'm still, the facts are there. You chopped up two people.
Correct.
Like,
but
I mean, because who was it? Ted Bundy was good looking. Wasn't he?
See, okay,
was Ted
hot
Bundy
take.
the one?
People say that he was. I don't think Ted Bundy was good looking. Like,
But
I think he was just normal looking. Like, if you think about other famous serial killers, like think about like Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
Ed Kemper was humongous.
Yeah, scary.
Like humongous, glasses. Like he was an imposing.
But Ted Bundy was charismatic too.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But he
I don't
still
think
went away.
I don't think he was good looking. I think he just wasn't a scary looking monster person.
Right. But I'm saying the facts were still there and he went away. That's what should have happened here.
Right.
You shot a woman in the bosom.
In the bosom.
Like.
Yeah. So he didn't serve the full life sentence, just like your story. This is an unclimactic death.
Oh, come on. He died from a hemorrhoid or something, didn't he?
Died of a stroke. So he might have had a hemorrhoid, then panicked, and then died of a stroke.
Death by hemorrhoid actually sounds pretty gnarly.
Ooh.
Death by hemorrhoid.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
He died in 1957 while he was still behind bars. But the memory of his crimes lingers in part because they echo a well-known ghost story from the French Quarter.
Ooh, okay.
So,
get into it.
So you and I have been on several true crime ghost tours
Correct.
in New Orleans. Do you remember being told the story of the sausage ghost of Ursuline Street?
Yeah, because I remember I looked at you and was like, sausage. Like,
It's
I was
like,
very hungry that day.
Does this come with a taste test?
Period.
So if you've ever been on one of those ghost tours, chances are you've heard the story of the sausage ghost. Legend tells of a mid-19th century German immigrant, or German immigrants, excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Hans Mueller, which I feel like is kind of racist sounding. Like if you think of a German name, like
was that actually their name though?
I think this is a myth. Like it's a legend. Like no one can prove or disprove.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
The Sausage King of New Orleans, Hans Mueller. So So the Muellers opened a sausage factory on the ground floor of their property at 725 Ursuline Street, just a few doors down from the building where the Moiti family later lived.
No, I see where this is going.
The story goes that Hans Mueller killed his wife and to hide his crime, made sausages out of her body and served them out of his butcher shop for weeks, which is very Sweeney Todd
I was
coded.
about to say that. You put enough hollandaise sauce on anything, though, and it'll work.
Give me enough honey mustard, I will eat it.
Literally.
But he was found out after a customer bit into a sausage and found her wedding ring. So that's the Jonas grossed out.
It's like, okay, he's been selling. People have been eating
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. One, that's gross. So
Yeah.
it took a while.
And say that's your second bite.
And then can you imagine the people were like, that's a mighty fine sausage.
It's like, I don't
Oh
know
my
what he's
God.
putting in the
Get outta
sausage.
here. That's disgusting.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Because I know if I even eat like shrimp or crab and I get like a of its shell,
You're
I'm
You're like,
yeah.
I quit.
Yes. A wedding ring, brother.
Could you imagine? Okay, this is bad. I'd bite into it and I'd be like, I wonder if this is my size. And I would like clean it off.
I would like exorcist, like, like veins popping, like
Throw up.
projectile into the wall, like, like it'd be so bad. Oh my God. That's
So,
horrifying.
Her ghost is said to have haunted the butcher shop until he went insane. The husband.
Mueller?
Mueller.
Okay.
Henry's past employment as a butcher's assistant was also a key point in his two trials. And on November 2nd, 1927, from behind bars awaiting his trial, he's reported by the Times-Picayune to have threatened the man, Joe Caruso, the landlord,
Okay.
with whom he believed his wife had been cheating on him with.
Work. Okay.
And he said, and I quote, "If I ever get my hands on that Joe Caruso, I'll chop him up into little pieces. Not big pieces like my wife. Little pieces, by God, and I'll make him look like something that's been run through the sausage mill." So he was believed to have been like inspired by that ghost story that people have been telling for years about the sausage ghost. So if you've ever heard about the sausage ghost,
This is crazy.
that's where the lore comes from. But that is the story of the 1927 New Orleans trunk murders that I had never heard of. You have thoughts, I can tell.
That was rough.
It's just, it's whenever you all do stories about like back in like 1920s,
Mm-hmm.
it's always fascinating because it takes them so much longer to find things.
Yes.
Or like
Oh, yeah.
discover stuff.
Yep.
But in this, the grand scheme, like it didn't take them that long to find him.
True.
No,
But
he
Yeah.
did run away.
and
Yeah.
he got away with literally everything in my
Yes.
book. Like
Yeah.
only doing I've got a couple people I wouldn't mind shooting if I only have to do 5 years of hard
You're like,
time.
promise me I'll only get 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ping. Are you kidding me?
That could incriminate you at some point. Don't ever try and shoot somebody.
For legal purposes, that was a comedy bit on this podcast, and that is a joke. But you know who you are. I'm just kidding.
But I enjoyed that one a lot. That one was fun to research. It was a little quick one, a little fun one.
That was not quick because my butt
Clenched?
started sweating when you talked about the dismemberment.
This episode is brought to you by Organizing with Leslie. Ever open your closet and feel like you're entering a danger zone of clutter? Or has your junk drawer evolved into a full-blown junk cabinet, maybe even a junk room? Well, it's time to bring in the big guns, Organizing with Leslie. Allow us to introduce Organizing with Leslie, your personal superhero of sorting, decluttering, and turning mess into yes. Whether it's your kitchen, garage, or that black hole of a home office, Leslie has the magic touch to make your home work for you. Serving the North Shore and surrounding areas, Leslie offers in-person and virtual decluttering, organizing, and lifestyle organization coaching. Real clients have said it's life-changing and stress-reducing, and I personally cannot wait to show all of you the absolute magic she has worked on my husband and I's closet. She came to my house last week. The magic's already happening. It's going to change my life. I can already tell. So if you're ready to ditch the overwhelm and live your most organized life, head over to organizingwithleslie.com to book your free consultation. And Leslie is spelled Leslie. Mention the Big Bad Boot and you'll receive 10% off any service. Your journey to living a more organized life starts with organizing with Leslie.
This episode is made possible by our friends at Gnarly Barley Brewing. Ever had a beer that made you pause mid-sip and say, what is this magic? That's not a glitch in the matrix. That's Gnarly Barley Brewing. I'm talking about Juicifer, their flagship hazy IPA. It's citrusy, juicy, and packs just enough bite to remind you that it's not here to play.
This is not mass-produced mediocrity. Our friends at Gnarly Barley create small batch brilliance brewed by folks who just love beer. They almost love it a little bit too much. So if you're looking for beers with attitude, flavor, and zero compromise, you want Gnarly Barley, proudly made in Hammond, Louisiana.
And save the date for August 22nd, 2025. Our friends at Gnarly Barley have invited us back for another rowdy live episode. Be sure to check out our social media for details. We hope to see you there.
We love the folks at Gnarly Barley and love the beer that they brew. Drink local and stay gnarly.
All right, y'all, let's talk about a place where the food is so good you'll swear it was made by your own mama. And honestly, maybe better, but don't tell her I said that. I'm talking about Our Mom's Restaurant, with 2 locations in Baton Rouge and Hammond, Louisiana. This local gem is serving up mouth-watering burgers, over-the-top loaded fries, and sandwiches that will ruin all other sandwiches for you. Katie loves the goat salad made with goat cheese, not actual goat. Thank you for clarifying, Katie. And I love the cheeseburger. Oh, and did I mention the craft beer selection? Whether you're catching the game, hanging with friends, or just dodging your own cooking for the night, Our Mom's is the place to be. So swing by Our Mom's Restaurant in downtown Hammond, where it feels like home, but with better food and someone else doing the dishes. Our Mom's, where everybody's family and nobody leaves hungry. I can't stop thinking about sausage. Like the wedding. I'll never eat breakfast sausage again. This is horrible.
Next time I feel like I get a little gristle from sausage, I'm going to think about it.
The wedding ring.
And maybe human meat's in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I ate a sausage croissant for lunch today.
Have you ever seen Sweeney Todd?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
thank God. Okay.
That's what that reminds me
I
of.
don't ever talk, but
Mr. Todd, Mrs. Lovin. It slaps.
Yeah.
People didn't really love the movie version of Sweeney Todd, but I liked Johnny Depp in that movie, as per usual.
Johnny Depp is good in everything he does.
He is. He is.
Shout out Amber Turd. Man.
Any other thoughts about the trunk murders? When I show you a picture of this man, you are going to agree with me that he was good looking. I promise.
He still murdered people.
I say that to
like,
prove a
some people
point.
could be attracted to Hitler. Still not a great guy. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is, objectively, he was good looking.
Sure.
And you're going to see why he was probably able to charm people and get away with being on the run for 2 years.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Getting pardoned and then only getting 5 years, that's crazy.
People didn't value women's lives back then very much. They're like, oh, what did she do to deserve it?
If you want to live to see tomorrow, you better start cooking these eggs better. I'm tired of eating sloppy eggs.
Do the whole thing. Do the whole bit.
I think that's all I remember.
Okay. That is from another movie we have not even scratched the surface of.
The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Please tell me.
You have to watch that.
You've seen it. It's a documentary.
It seems very familiar.
Oh,
it's like
so
10,
good.
15 years old. It's old. It's an older
It's old,
documentary.
But it's produced by Dick House Productions, who did like Jackass.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
It is
So good.
about a family, the Whites, that live in West Virginia. And I don't want to call them a crime family because it makes them sound
she
like...
literally is in the camera and she goes, I just went and got me pain pills from this pharmacy, and I'm about to go. I got them for $8 a pill. I'm gonna go up the road. I'm gonna sell them for $10. That's hustle, rustle, and bustle. And then the niece is like slapping her, like, this is on camera, and she's like, F that camera, like,
And then
crazy.
she takes a bottle of pills and she goes, you want to hear the Boone County Mating call?
It's insane. Like,
It's so funny.
It's crazy.
It's wild. So maybe that's our first Patreon episode, is we do a review of the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
I'm down.
I love that movie.
Oh my gosh. He was up in Canada, finishes in his movie, The Talking Feet. That movie's so good. Me, Leslie, and Aaron have wanted to dress up as Subob, Mamie, and Kirk. The meanest, the biggest, and the baddest. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Wow.
Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Thank you for your work. Love your
Dennis is
product.
this.
Dennis is the sorry, people are gonna be
Okay,
like,
yeah.
shut up.
Literally.
Watch it and you'll know what we mean.
Not with kids around.
Oh, for
There's
the love of God.
There's a lot of cussing, drug,
a lot
murder.
of full frontal male nudity.
Lots of it.
And
the frontal nudity is while they're doing drugs with their cousins.
yeah, it's a lot.
Why is your cousin's pee-pee out?
That's
lot.
weird. It's a lot.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway, thanks for listening to the Big Bad Boot. Do either of you have anything else for the good of the show?
August 22nd.
Yes.
Be there or be square.
Live episode at Gnarly Barley. Thank you again to our friends. I almost said Zeri, Carrie and Zach, and all of their staff.
Our day oneers.
We love coming to Gnarly Barley. Our launch party and our first live episode there was a blast.
Every time I'm in the parking lot, in my head, I'm like, I'm coming home. Coming home.
And their
I might go
food,
there tonight.
their food at Dinar is
Lit.
excellent.
Top tier. Top.
It's a free
tier.
event. You just have to buy your food and your alcohol, which duh.
Yeah.
Let's sell them out of both.
Period.
How many people you think were at our first live episode?
I don't know. The news was there.
See, at least 100.
Yeah.
If not
Oh,
more.
yeah.
It was
Because we
a lot of fun.
ran them out of glasses. We were
Mhm.
on the news.
I
that
was in the
first
news
time
in
I
the
felt
town
like
that
a
I live in.
baddie.
Yeah.
Because I was hugging my friend and you were like, come on. I was like, 1 second, I got to be interviewed.
I got to be interviewed by the local newspaper of the town I live in.
Period. It was lit though.
But tell everyone or give them the assignment that you gave in the last episode. We need them.
Oh, yes. We need y'all to email suggestions
Yes.
of topics that we could do that are church adjacent.
No, well, when he says
So-
church adjacent, like
Small
ones
group adjacent.
that we
like,
could talk about in front
Yes.
of kids.
Like
Yes.
in your small group, like if, you know, like
Yeah.
you go to church, there's certain things and like small
True.
group can like act up a little bit.
That's true.
The small
And
group.
it has to be okay to be said in front of like cool kids.
Cool kids.
Yeah,
Like Frederick Gonzalez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man,
Frederick,
my
if you're
dude.
listening, I know Carly's listening.
Frederick.
I know
if you're
Ryan's
listening.
not listening because he's like, I love y'all. I'm not listening to your podcast.
And I respect that.
I
love
respect
Ryan.
it too. I
I
wouldn't
love
listen.
all you Gonzaleses. Hot darn.
Thank you.
They're
And
great people.
She got mad at, well, not got mad at me, but she said, you mentioned the mafia and then you said I was your lawyer. And I'm like,
You did do that. And I remember when you said that, I was like, ooh, Katie.
But she is.
Don't say that.
so anywho.
We do use her for legal advice.
Yeah. But August 22nd, Gnarly Barley, Hammond, Louisiana. I want to say, I'll be exact on times on social media, but I want to say 6 o'clock is the start time. It's a Friday evening.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. Great way to
Man.
kick off the weekend.
I'm going to be in a great mood.
Because Caleb's going to go leave for a cruise the next day.
I also have an idea for the
Okay.
for the live show.
Okay.
What?
Let's do a GoFundMe to pay off your Italy bill.
Okay.
Update.
Right?
Update.
Oh, okay.
I called the American Embassy.
Mhm.
Called the embassy. Because I
And?
was like, this is sketchy. They said, did the tickets ask you to log into a website and use a certain username and password? And I was like, yeah, it did. They were like, we're 90% sure that's fake.
Oh,
So I was like, okay. So they're like, we'll look more into it. If you don't hear from us in the next week, don't pay it. And they never called back.
So, hey, you're off the hook for it. So he booked
Yeah.
a cruise.
So
There you go.
yeah, so to celebrate, I booked a 6-day cruise.
Yeah.
there you go.
So
'Cause it does
Italy, I
make
take back
sense.
everything I said.
It does make sense though, like 800 for like that type of violation.
For
That's
a
little
art
crazy.
loading zone.
Little crazy.
Then that
Literally.
can't be real. Like,
I don't
I mean,
know.
I'm sure an
Florence is
art loading
98%
zone, but
art.
like, no, you didn't see anybody walking around writing tickets.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I wasn't there. I don't
I
know.
was focused on driving a stick shift Fiat on the wrong side of the car.
Yeah.
It was rough. And paying $97 for a bottle of water.
I love that idea, Jonah. Maybe
do.
we do like a GoFundMe or something. Like,
just for us.
well, no, maybe we give it to a charity.
Okay. We can
Like
do that.
people, if everybody who comes donates $1,
Period.
We'll pick a charity.
Missing children, something like
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
like, you know,
yeah.
that'd be fun.
I like that idea.
Let's
We'll
do that.
workshop that. We'll get all this proper paperwork done for that.
Carly might be calling you for it. So.
Yeah. Well, Jonah, do you have anything else besides his haircut?
Yeah.
Man, no. I will say I'm I'm learning that me and Caleb get grossed out on similar things.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, yeah.
This one
That's
wasn't
true.
bad, but when you said
The heel strain,
that was terrible.
that one got me
the
immediately.
ring in the back.
Yeah.
It's
Because
just,
it's like-
just like it's so visceral. It's just
Mhm.
like
Like there's
Vicious.
an open wound and the ring's going in there.
disgusting.
Oh
and
my
then somebody
gosh,
finds a ring in sausage. That's even worse.
that's crazy. That is crazy.
Because sausage is already kind of questionable. Like you're taking
Hey,
a
it
risk.
It is. I love sausage though.
I do too.
Same.
Breakfast
Breakfast
sausage.
sausage. Come on, Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy Dean. I love the name Dean.
Y'all, I'm so scared. I'm not gonna be able to eat breakfast sausage anymore.
Well, no, I feel like this was like a sausage link.
Even worse, boudin.
Like a kielbasa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you think
Boudin.
of a ring, like it had to have been big enough to.
Boudin is like that though.
Boudin.
That's my favorite.
You'll be fine.
Do you guys ever want to do revisits?
I think
Oh, yeah,
that
like
would
a
be
rewind.
fun.
Like really deep dive into something,
We could.
or part 1s and 2s. Maybe
We
I don't know.
definitely
We-
need to.
We should leave.
to
I want
do-
to leave some people on a cliffhanger.
I do too.
Okay,
You
I
know?
do
Let's try
have.
to do a part 1 and 2 soon.
I do
Yeah.
have a story that I've been researching. I'm in the middle of reading the book about it, and I'm waiting till I finish the book.
Mhm.
But it's about the last madam of New Orleans who was like
Yeah.
owned the House of Ill Repute
Nice.
in New Orleans, and it's an excellent book. That's definitely a 2-parter for sure because I want to do it justice,
Okay.
and it's this lady's life is so interesting,
Okay.
so fabulous. What are you looking at?
Oh.
What did you?
Someone's on break smoking S and a J outside of Rusty Pelican. Period.
Well, thank y'all for listening. We love you guys. Go to the bigbadbootmerch.com
Mm-hmm.
to buy our merch. Follow us on TikTok,
Period.
Instagram, Facebook. Tell a friend about our podcast
Yeah, and then tell a friend to tell a friend.
because we are so every time we open up our phone and look at our stats, we're like, we cannot believe this many people listen
Like
to us
us.
yell into microphones.
Crazy.
And I'm asking for a personal favor. If you know of any businesses that want to advertise with us,
Yes. If you want us to keep doing this,
correct. If
this
you
takes money.
we hire very talented people
Amen.
to help us
Period.
produce this podcast. So
Join
we
us
want to,
like guys.
you guys,
Stop.
and we want to keep doing that. So if you know of a Louisiana brand that's wanting to have fun with their ad dollars, and I'm telling you, every social media video collab that we do,
is banging. The
Slaps.
one for
They
our
do very
moms.
well.
they
was
all do well.
hilarious.
Yeah.
The one for Paul's,
That's a good
banger.
one.
Banger. The one for Paul's, the one for our moms, the one for Berrytown Produce.
Well, the one for Paul's got like 500,000 views
in like 3 days.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
crazy.
So hit us up.
Yeah.
We want to work with Louisiana brands. Send us an email. We have very competitive
Todd Graves.
prices.
I love Raising Cane's.
Todd
if you're
Graves,
listening.
you have
Todd,
money
yeah.
to spend, brother.
Yeah. Come on.
Like, put us on a Raising Cane's billboard. I promise it will convert.
I'll do crazy stuff for Raising Cane's.
Me too.
I'll dive into cane sauce.
That's actually genius.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I love cane sauce.
Also, rate the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
On whatever you listen to, rate it Apple Podcast, Spotify,
Yes.
whatever the heck. Rate the show 5 stars.
Yeah, nothing less than 5.
I saw the other
Yeah.
day that we have a 5-star rating on Spotify and we have like
Mhm.
90 reviews.
Did you?
Wow.
Did you go back in the back end?
I
after
need to
told
go
you the
look at
login?
it.
It's
No.
really cool. Like how Spotify lays stuff out.
Yeah.
It's cool.
We need to go
Nice.
read the reviews and send people some thank yous. I'm ordering bumper stickers this weekend.
Okay.
And we're just going to post about it. And the first, how many people comment and send us their mailing address, we're going to mail you a bumper sticker.
Okay.
I think that'll be fun. But anywho, thank you for listening. We love you guys. And remember, God made you.
And the Rugaru Tube.
So be kind to one another.
Goodbye.
Bye.
The Big Bad Boot is produced by Lettuce Media and edited by Mallory and Jonah.
Our music was produced by Macro Tracks. Our super cool logo was designed by AWC Graphics. And our sense of humor and childhood trauma was sponsored by Kelly and Abby Morse.